With fall now upon us, there are a few anime I tend to revisit around this time of year to get me into the Halloween spirit, or just the general vibe of the season. Shows like Is This a Zombie?, Shiki, Hellsing Ultimate, or Another. There's one series in particular though that I feel captures both the cozy feeling of fall and the creeping dread of Halloween. Dusk Maiden of Amnesia isn't an anime I'd consider to be all that great. The cast of characters leaves a lot to be desired, with its lead Teiichi Nia being one of the most painfully generic protagonists I've ever seen. Seriously, this guy is the absolute definition of bland. Secondary lead Yuko Kanoe, on the other hand, is really the main standout, as she has the most personality of the cast and is the central focus of the narrative. And also the camera angles. Having died long ago, she haunts the school that houses her remains, unable to pass on and lacking any memory of her death, hence the title. Teiichi leads the Paranormal Investigation Club to uncover mysteries the school has hidden away, with his primary focus being to help Yuko unlock the dark truth of her past. The series tends to take on an episodic nature due to these investigations, with the unknown history of Yuko being the main underlying plot connecting it all together. I wouldn't really say that the plot is very strong, as the individual stories aren't too interesting. It's only when the show finally shifts its primary focus to Yuko that things become truly engaging. Dusk Maiden may sound pretty bland on paper, and in many regards, well, it is. Why I think the series is worth recommending though honestly comes down to its presentation. There is an atmosphere created which is heavy and overwhelming, yet also strangely inviting. Warm colors help create a feeling of relaxation, though the strong consistent contrast of darkness can often unsettle. Visually, this show is what comes to mind whenever I think of everything that is the month of October. It immediately puts you into a certain mood and captures a feeling I think other anime might struggle to do. This is helped by some truly inspired direction. The lighter, more intimate moments between Teiichi and Yuko come to life, adding a level of connection and emotion to characters who might otherwise be utterly unrelatable. There are a handful of scenes here that are genuinely beautiful and sometimes even a little heartbreaking. On the opposite side of things, the darker aspects of the show are portrayed in ways that can actually get under your skin, with some rather horrific imagery and frightening sequences. Episode 10 is a perfect example of the show's creative approach to storytelling, as we're presented the tragic events of Yuko's past from both an outsider's perspective, as well as her own first-person point of view. It's an incredibly memorable episode, and is one I find myself reflecting on from time to time, as it's something I haven't really experienced elsewhere in anime. There are other moments of equally impressive execution as well, showcasing how committed the series is to keeping things visually engaging. Everything's tied together by a soundtrack that complements every sort of feeling the show is aiming to achieve, with a few noteworthy tracks that I still listen to on occasion. I also want to mention that the opening is just fantastic, and is one you may have heard at one point even if you've never seen the show. Dusk Maiden is a series carried mostly by its production. While it may not seem worth investing time into something that only has a few noteworthy aspects, I recommend giving it a shot regardless, as those aspects are pretty damn strong. It may not be your next favorite anime or anything, but there might be something here that resonates with you despite that. I myself have grown more of an appreciation for the series over the years, and as I've already mentioned, I think now would be a good time to give it a watch if you haven't already. Dusk Maiden ultimately succeeds because of the execution of its adaptation, making it a perfect anime to check out for the month of October.